course the Earth's not flat.
Whoa! Did Eric Dubay just admit that Flat Earth is fake? Stay tuned for what will surely be a very interesting look at one of, if not the most prominent Flat Earther out there. Hi, I'm LimeyPlay and thank you so much for joining me today. In a moment we will be taking a look at Eric Dubay, a name that for anyone that's been around the Flat Earth topic for a decent amount of time, they will surely have heard of. But first, I would like to welcome my newest patron, Tim O'Lynch. Thank you ever so much for joining my Patreon community. It really does mean the world to me. I really do appreciate your support. So, back to Eric.
Of course the Earth's not flat.
Of course, this part has been cherry-picked to suit my narrative. Something that Flat Earthers are very, very well known for. Trying to find stuff and take it out of context to support their claim. So I thought I'd try it myself, just to show them how if you don't take everything into account, you're not really getting an accurate representation of the topic. But we should get to the main topic as we have a lot of shit to wade through today. So without much further ado, let's get right to it.
Let's talk about these anti-flat Earth defense mechanisms the vast majority of people seem to have.
Anti-flat Earth defense mechanisms. I'm all ears.
The first one is the term flat Earth itself. When people hear that word, or they hear you questioning the globe model, the moon landing, or anything of that sort, they go, "Wait a minute. You're not a flat earther, are you? You're a flat earther, aren't you?" With this condescending, all-knowing tone, as if you accept this label, you've been pigeonholed, and anything you say afterwards holds no value.
I don't think I agree. It's, in my experience, it's normally the flat earthers that are condescending and always appear to just act as if they know everything. I mean, look at, well, all of them, as they just look at all the scientific proof we have for the globe and just brush it all off as lies, deciding that their brief research has suddenly made them experts in physics, geometry, earth science, and, well, just everything, really. Even more so than the people that have dedicated their lives to these topics.
And why is this? Because of websites like the Flat Earth Society, giving misinformation and strawman arguments, and mockumentaries like Behind the Curve, showcasing the worst examples of so-called flat earthers for everyone to laugh at.
To be fair, Eric, all of you use the same tired lies and arguments, which have been debunked and disproven countless times now. Your own recent documentary was just as sad and pathetic as all the rest, showing all the same old arguments that everyone else uses.
So now, you're guilty by association if you admit that you're a flat earther. I'll use the flat earth keyword for the algorithm because it's what everyone searches for. But I named my children's book The Earth Plane, and we named our movie Level, purposely creating quote-unquote flat earth content without this pigeonholed label in the title.
And what a joy it was to watch. It had me laughing my arse off, so thank you very much for that.
So, of course, among other globe skeptics, level earthers, whatever you want to call us, we can accept that we are flat earthers. But when your friends and family members or strangers on the street you're trying to convince hear a bit of your skepticism and then ask, "Oh, you're a flat earther, aren't you?" I recommend doing as Del from Beyond the Imaginary Curve does, and insisting that no, you're not a flat earther, because the Earth has mountains, hills, and valleys, so of course the Earth's not flat, thereby disarming their first anti-flat Earth defense mechanism.
So you begin by trying to confuse your prey. How very cult-like of you.
Because you don't admit to being their strawman version of a globe skeptic.
Yet, strawmanning is a tactic that you all use eventually because due to the scientific impossibility that is flat Earth, there are certain aspects of the globe model, aka reality, that you just can't refute. So you use misdirection and even try to create your own reason that certain things happen. Reasons that, although completely asinine, are still able to lure in some of the more gullible members of our species.
What they have seen in mockumentaries or on the Flat Earth Society as a flat earther. No, you're not that. You're just a man or woman like anyone else, questioning their reality, questioning what they're told, not just believing outright what the government or government organization says.
This I'm all for. One shouldn't believe everything they are told without question, but one should also not question reality with half-assed research, nor should you shy away from asking experts in the things you don't understand. Learn how to test things correctly so that you can make an informed decision.
So the next one, once you've disarmed them and they realize, oh yeah, he is a flat earther, regardless of what he calls himself, their next anti-flat earth defense mechanism will be, why? But why? Why would they lie? The incessant mantra of the ball earther. But, why would they lie? It's not even a question.
You're absolutely right, Eric. It's not really a question because it's quite clearly it could not happen. What would be the benefits of hiding the flat earth? How could all the world's governments and scientists and even military manage to work together on this for so long without it getting out? And how could the maths and science be set up to lie to us just across the board? I mean, I'll help you with the last one. It couldn't. We know this because we can make our own observations and calculations and easily prove not only that we live on a spinning ball, but also that the flat earth is just a scientific impossibility. I mean, it's not even a question. Flat earth does not fit reality at all.
It's a defense mechanism. They haven't researched the evidence for an alternative shape of the earth for even a minute.
Of course not. Most of us, most likely proved the globe as part of our school curriculum. Aside from the scientifically inept flat earther, the majority of the world's population consists of regular people that have proved the globe for themselves. The experts that understand our world and how it works as part of their field of academia, and those that trust those experts and their combined millennia of scientific understanding, enough to realize they really do know what they're talking about.
But suddenly, they want to know the motive for this lie. Yeah, right. This isn't a genuine question. Imagine a detective rolling up to a crime scene and there's blood all over the place, bodies everywhere, stinks to high heaven, and little deputy rookie volunteer rocks up behind him, taps him on the shoulder, and says, what do you think the motive would be for a crime here? I'm not seeing why there would be a murder here. The detective looks at him, squints his eyes, waves his hand, shows the blood on the walls, the bodies on the floor, asks the rookie genuinely, are you not seeing this? Do you not see the evidence all around you?
I'm no expert in debate terms, but to me this is your classic red herring. They can't provide a logical reason why the powers that be would hide the flat earth from us, so they try to have you focus on something else.
And the rookie, as if blind to the crime scene, unable to research or open his eyes long enough to see any of the evidence.
This always bugs me, the assumption that we haven't done any research. Of course they have to push this as hard as they can, as deep down they know that their own research is flawed. They have to bolster their position by making their cult members believe that we haven't researched it at all, just to appear, in a better sort of standing. I mean, it certainly is a clever tactic and an extremely devious one.
Just impotently continues on, asking, But why? When people ask you, but why would they lie about the shape of the earth when they haven't even researched the evidence whatsoever? that question is not a question. It's a defense mechanism.
Aside from being a legitimate question, it is often an attempt to make the flat earther see sense, whereas you, Eric, ignoring it completely is certainly a defense mechanism.
And if somebody is just asking you a question as a defense mechanism, you're not required to give them an answer.
And there we have it. If you can't answer it, ignore it. One of the main flat earth tenets.
Nor is it in your best interest to try and give them an answer.
Because any answer that you give will only serve to further illustrate the utter lunacy that is flat earth. Hopefully any existing or potential flat earthers watching this will begin to see just how many holes the flat earth theory has, whereas strangely enough the globe model doesn't. It's funny that, isn't it? And really I shouldn't even call it a theory, because in scientific terms, theories have been proven.
Because why are they asking you that defense mechanism question in the first place? Because it's such a huge and open-ended question, and you are not the one who's lying, so you couldn't possibly explain the motive of the liars, even if you knew it to the finest detail. Therefore, regardless of what answer you give them, or how good it is, they're just waiting for you to open your mouth so they can laugh and scoff at whatever answer you try to give to their impossible question.
That's not our only impossible question as far as your claim is concerned. Another would be, what proof do you have that the earth is flat? Because not a single one of you has ever given any actual proof that hasn't been debunked.
But why would they lie? People who ask this question are unaware of just how prevalent lies have been and continue to be throughout history.
He sure is talking about this one for a long time, isn't he? It's as if he really doesn't believe the bullshit he peddles.
In all facets of society, in the media, in government, in history, in science, the lies are everywhere. And anyone that's going to ask you, but why would they lie, is obviously a mainstream media believing conformist sheeple who hasn't got the slightest idea of how the world actually works, and trying to hold their hand and explain to them the entirety of history and politics and conspiracies that have been hidden from them is an impossible task.
He really does do a great job of displaying his arrogance, doesn't he?
As they say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
Whereas if the horse was a flat earther, it would probably tell you that that's not water at all.
You can lead humans to standing bodies of level water, but you can't make them understand that they're impossible to bend.
It's not so much that you have to look at it as the water being bent. At any point on Earth, the surface of the water at that specific location is perpendicular to the center of the Earth, because it is all seeking its own level whilst gravity is pulling it towards Earth's center of mass. So, it's no surprise that the water would follow the spherical shape of the globe, because it is all being equally pulled towards the center. I mean, granted, it looks flat to our perspective if we're, at sea level or even a bit higher. But then again, our eyes cannot spot mere inches or feet of curve whilst looking at just a few miles of horizon.
So when ballers chant their "why would they lie" mantra at you, don't feel obligated to try and dish up some answer that's somehow going to satisfy these insatiable people. If they really cared, they'd be looking into it as deeply as you are.
Many of us have looked into it way deeper than you ever will, Eric. That's why we're absolutely sure that we live on a globe.
And instead of that question being some flippant defense mechanism, it would be a genuine question, like it is for you or me.
If it's a genuine question for you, then why can't you provide an answer? Or better yet, why can't you see how ludicrous any answer would sound, and then just realise how stupid it is to believe in such nonsense?
I can list dozens of reasons why they would lie, and I have in other videos, but just realize that this barrage of questions that ball earthers throw at you are more defense mechanisms than genuine questions. and you're not required to try and answer all of these defense mechanism questions.
So you basically treat these questions with the same lack of effort that you apply to your research.
One of the biggest impediments to waking up is ego.
I couldn't agree more. This is why you have spent so long asleep to reality. Although I suspect in your case it is also about the money that you make from it.
And it is their ego that's chanting these "but why would they lie" mantras. These "oh, you're a flat earther."
And just how are you so arrogant that you let your ego convince you that you understand the world better than everyone else? It really does baffle me.
You'll notice your more enlightened friends and family members, when you told them about it, didn't come at you with this kind of attitude and these dismissive questions. Your more open-minded friends and family members were probably curious and interested, and when they asked questions, they were good questions, and they listened to the answers, and then you had productive conversations following them. This is a whole different thing than you get with these other people, and almost all people, when you ask them if they consider themselves to be open-minded, answer in the affirmative.
But you're not really open-minded, are you, Eric? You've closed your mind off from rational thought and scientific evidence and can now only see the flat earth lie. What a pity. I think that's enough of Dubay. Join me next week as we hopefully finish looking at Dubay's art of deception, as well as me looking at another dangerous conspiracy I've been working on for a couple of weeks now. It's just taking a while to get original footage and all the stuff I need to piece it together. It's quite in-depth, so I do apologise for going back to flat earth. I was hoping to not do that this week or next week, but it's starting to be kind of in my wheelhouse, so yeah, the other stuff is taking me a lot longer to piece together. If you enjoyed the video, please do like and subscribe so you can stay up to date with my content. If you would like to support me in my content creation, there are links to Patreon and PayPal in the description, as well as links to my Discord server and other social media. Once again, I would like to thank Timo Lynch for becoming my newest patron. Again, it's really appreciated. I really can't believe the support that I've got for this channel. And yeah, I will be eternally grateful. Thank you ever so much. As always, I've been LimeyPlay. Take care of each other and stay safe.